Here we go. Hello, and welcome to the stream, you guys. I hope you
Hello.
the new
Hey.
intro that we have going. But I am here with my good friends Lucas and Carla, Adventures by Abels. How are you guys doing?
Hi.
Good.
Looks like we have Katrina's here.
Hi, Katrina.
Hi.
Whoa, Davey, loving all the uploads this
Aw.
week.
Great.
Hi, Davey.
Hi, Davey.
Welcome, you guys. So before I get into the subject, which is going to be about Raya and the Last Dragon, we do have a special guest. He is a friend of Lucas and Carla, and he's now, I met him one time, so it's a friendship in the making. But I will introduce him here in a little bit. But before I do any of that, like if you guys are watching, any of you guys that are watching or joining in, you can hit that like button. We'll really appreciate it. It will really help out both of our channels.
Exactly.
And
Thank you.
if you know anybody that's seen Raya, go share the link, let them know. We are going to do like about 10 minutes non-spoiler. So, if they're interested in what our thoughts are, what we thought about the movie, go send it out now. Because like I said, 10 minutes. And, but yeah, if you can hit that like button. But before we get into even the topic, you guys, this is something new that I kind of implemented and I kind of want to go over and keep on the show every week is park news. So, because there's a lot of news happening during the week and a lot of people, don't know some of the news that is happening. The first thing on the news that is to update you guys is Mardi Gras. So Mardi Gras for Universal Studios was supposed to end March 28th. So it's about, in a couple weeks.
Mhm.
I guess because it's doing so well, the Universal is going to extend it till April 11th. So, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So especially you guys, Carla and Lucas, you guys, get a little bit more time to try to make it over here and not feel rushed to try to, because like I said, it was supposed to be over in 2 weeks, but
Yeah.
so yeah, you guys, Universal extended Mardi Gras until April 11th. So to let you guys know about that.
Definitely makes me happy. I can go back there and get another arepa.
Yeah. And then for Disney news, this is going to be interesting, especially someone like myself. I don't have a Magic Band, but they're working on and testing Disney Magic Mobile. So it's going to be like a convenient way and a contactless way to access Magic Bands, and it's like you're using your smart device as a Magic Band. So that's going to be very interesting if they get that to happen, because I don't have a Magic Band and I'm all about my phone. So if I can just pull out my phone and be like, and I'm like, ooh.
Why didn't you have a band though?
Yeah.
I never got to it when I bought an annual pass.
You get a free one with your pass.
Yeah, and I heard you get a free one, but I never got to it. I never wanted to get in line or go to the customer service. And then when there were certain ones I wanted to buy at the park, I was like, I'll wait till it's like there's a discount. And then I found out at the Character Warehouse, a lot of them get moved over there for like $7. So $7 compared to the $29. So I'm just waiting for the right one to be at that store. So
gotcha.
Touche.
And other news, this one kind of makes me feel a certain way, but Remy's Ratatouille adventure ride is going to debut on the same day of the anniversary.
That's the worst idea anyone has come up with.
Yeah.
There, I said it. I'll say it for you.
That's rough. That's rough. That's very rough. Yeah.
and I don't like that just because it's a brand with any brand new rides, you guys, they have to get all the kinks out. The ride is going to break down. It's going to get shut down. Can you imagine being in line for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, and the ride shuts down, and then and let's say that was your only day to be at Epcot, you know?
Yeah.
So if they would have had it open now going into that, October, then they would have had kinks out and, been, smooth sailing. But
Not just
yeah.
that, but that's in October is when the big celebration is gonna start for the
Yeah.
50th.
Yeah.
So can you imagine how crazy that's gonna be? No,
Well,
that's
'cause,
the worst idea.
you got
A lot of
Remy
people
going
coming
on.
in.
Yeah, you got Remy going on. You got the 50th anniversary. Then you got the Halloween stuff going on. If they
Yep.
even bring it back for that, you got three things going
Well,
on.
Halloween usually starts earlier. They usually start like at the end of August, unless
Yeah.
it's different this year. But
Yeah,
but
I mean,
yes, people
yeah.
will go for Halloween too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
that is nuts.
That's crazy. I am.
Yeah.
I don't think people are thinking anymore. I think they just want to rush things out without even thoughts.
Well,
But they're
yeah,
not rushing though.
and I think Disney, they want to have a brand because they were supposed to have, I think, Tron and the other one at Epcot, the other roller coaster.
Guardians of Galaxy
Yeah, I think
Rewind.
those were supposed to be opening for the anniversary. So the fact they don't have anything, they're like, well, this is the only new ride we can kind of offer to people. But you're
Yeah.
offering it to people in a time that's just not the best time. So
No.
We'll see.
We'll see. And on other news, for Disney, so the last time I had reported about this, Disneyland and Universal Hollywood opening up on April 1st. That's when the theme parks can open up, but it looks like Disney is saying they're going to open up later the month of April. So, when that news kind of broke out, it was like April 1st. They're not really opening April 1st. That's when they can open up, but Disney's kind of waiting till the end of maybe the third week or end of April. So there's no specific date. When they do open up, 15% capacity. They're only allowing in-state residents. So just to keep that in mind. So if you got excited and was like, oh, I'm going to go to Disneyland. Yeah, no. All right.
Yep.
All right. Back to the chat real quick because like I said, we have a guest and I want to introduce him. Whoa, David was saying, I hope Mardi Gras will be a total park takeover each year like 2021. The floats all around the park was pretty awesome. Yeah, I agree. I like the way they did it. Yeah.
I mean, me and Carlos never experienced it any other way. So
hey, Gabby. We got
Hi,
Gabby.
Gabby. That's my sister.
Hey, Gabby.
Hi. And
Hi,
Mom.
Your mom's involved.
And then Katrina was saying, I know everyone is mad about the 50th, but Disney knows that all the YouTube people will be there, so they did it so it won't be super busy. They know they will break up the crowds.
Yeah, they will.
I guess.
Because they'll draw attention, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't even know if we're going to go in October.
Yeah, I don't know. But
Universal it is.
Right. But yeah, for you guys who are joining into the stream, welcome all you guys. Don't be shy to say hello in the comments. We were just going over park news, and if you just join, if you hit that like button, it would really help out both of our channels.
Really
but
would.
Yeah, you guys. So before we get into the topic, we do have a special guest. As I mentioned, he is friends with Lucas and Carla. They've known him for, I guess, a while.
Yep.
We've met him
5 years.
Yeah. So, and I just met him last week when all of us went to go see Raya. And his name is Justin. So everyone, welcome Justin to the stream.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, you're
Hi,
very
Justin.
welcome.
Hey.
Thank you for being part of the stream. So now we have a few people to talk about this movie. But yeah. So like I said, it's going to be non-spoiler talk. Okay. So anyone in the chat, if you haven't seen the movie, for about 10 minutes or so, we're going to just talk about what we thought about the movie, non-spoiler reviews. And then after that, there will be a spoiler alert, gives you time to exit and, go watch the movie. And then you
go
can come
on
back
your
to
merry
this
way.
now. Yeah, exactly. Enjoy the rest of your evening. But so I'll start with my thoughts about the movie. Let me start off with how beautiful the animation was. The production design was just mind-blowing. I mean, from everything in nature, like from the grass to the trees to just the characters to like, I mean, just looking at Raya and her skin and the texture on each and every, character and just everything was amazing to the point where I didn't even feel like I was watching an animated movie. Um, I was just really blown away with the animation. So good kudos and good job to Disney on that. That was very, very impressive on that front. Raya as a character, I still don't. If there's one thing I don't like about her as a character is that she reminds me of Moana. I wish they could have changed her a little bit so she can look a little different. But I mean, other than that, like Raya is starting to get up there as maybe my if she's considered a Disney princess, she's starting to get up there as maybe my like top 5 Disney princesses. So
She is a chief's daughter, so
yeah, okay. I mean, yeah, I guess
they did call her a princess.
they did. They
Okay.
did, Princess Raya.
Yeah, okay. Well,
So
she's getting up there. So I love her attitude. I love, how she was in the whole movie. And there was just something about her, like just the energy, and she was a little different. She was a little bit more fierce than like Mulan and Moana. Like it was just, she got me to the point where I was like, man, like there was a certain scene, but I mean, we won't talk about it, but she gets upset and I was like, I don't want to mess with that one. And so, yeah, but the characters, I love all the characters. They were all good. And even her little sidekick, Tuk Tuk, the little
Okay.
whatever he is, like armadillo something, creature.
little
He's-
bug.
yeah, I didn't, and he's when you guys watch this movie, you haven't watched it. He's a nice little sidekick, and I think he's kind of getting up there on like one of my favorites. What else did I like about it? Yeah, just good story, you guys. A little bit different from what you're used to with Disney, with the storytelling. Like some people are like, oh, people. I heard people were watching the trailer like, oh, this is predictable. When you watch the movie, it's not really predictable.
No.
You will
No.
cry a few times. I've read and heard some people have cried, and I'm going to admit that I kind of almost got a little teary eye on a certain scene. But like I said, non-spoiler. But when we get to that, but yeah, I was like, wow, Disney. I was like, damn it, but I didn't cry. But yeah, so a lot of touchy, good, heartfelt moments. The characters, the animation, the story, I mean, Raya, her as the star, it was really good. And here's something that was interesting. There wasn't really a villain. I can't get into details. She almost seemed like a villain, but it was just, it was different. So as I'm saying, it was a different kind of Disney movie, and I liked it. So,
It definitely followed suit like most of the Disney movies lately, where it doesn't fit the normal Disney formula.
yeah.
Like
So
all the modern day Disney movies definitely don't fit that like when Walt was still alive styled movie.
Yeah. So what do you think about the movie overall?
Me,
Mhm.
20 out of 10. Visually stunning is the word I would use. The fight choreograph was crazy. The character design with their costumes, completely awesome. I don't know. It's crazy. I didn't think I would like this movie as much as I did. I thought it was going to be something I've seen before, and it stood out among the rest. I thought it was going to be similar to Mulan because of the Asian inspiration it has, but it's definitely a different part of Asia. So I liked how they showed that it was a different part of Asia. I like how they're teased to be a villain, but it was more like a misguided character. There wasn't really like a bad person or a good person. It was just a bunch of people trying to survive. The costume design was amazing. The environmental settings, just the comedy worked. It was a beautiful and great experience. It's arguably in my top 10 favorite Disney movies and my top 10 favorite animated movies, which is really difficult to get into. I'm a very like heavy animated person. Like animated movies are like some of my favorite pieces of work, and it's really hard for something to just like punch through and easily make it into my top 10, and it did.
Yeah. What about you, Carla?
So I don't even know how to. I don't really know how to give a non-spoiler because I'm not sure what I can say and what I shouldn't say.
Well, I mean, it's not saying certain scenes.
I mean, I did like the movie. There's a few things I didn't like, which I will tell later, I guess. It's not on my top 10 favorite movies like someone else, but it was a cute movie. I mean, it was cute. There was something that a lot of Disney movies have, and that one didn't. I guess I'll have to say that later. And I kind of had an issue with that because I don't know, it's a Disney movie. But overall, it was a cute movie. You know, I will watch it again whenever whenever it becomes free on Disney Plus. I'll let Havana watch it. It was cute. Raya is a cute character. She's brave. She's, you know, your typical brave character, but at the same time, I don't want to give a spoiler though. Like the story at the end, it was different. It was kind of unexpected. So, you know what I mean.
So
But yeah.
I see Julie here saying it was so predictable.
I didn't think it was.
Maybe a
It
little.
wasn't for me. I
Up
mean,
until a point.
yeah,
Yes.
maybe up to a point, but it was just I don't know. It was different for me. It wasn't
The
as predictable.
the predictability of it came from like it being very similar to another property, and I might talk about it later in the spoiler part, but
Right. I would say there was a definite, and we can get into my thoughts in a second, but as far as predictable goes, the pacing was sort of predictable in the MacGuffin hunt, which we can talk about, elaborate on in the spoiler part. But getting to the, my thoughts on it, I would say, I don't want to repeat what's been said already because I'm right there with you guys. I think the animation style is stunning. The color palette, the different, there's different environments, and they all have their own theming and colors set to it. The costume design is fantastic. Just to really elaborate on the animation style, this movie had $100 million of a budget, which is huge for an animated movie, especially with a movie that's only have 4 or 5 movies with Moana, Frozen, and Frozen 2, maybe a couple others. But no, I mean, some of the expressions on these characters' faces, they would use subtle little things like a lip, tongue to lip kind of movements that you just don't see anywhere normally.
Yeah.
Oh, and are we going to talk about the short at all, or is that the short film? But
I mean,
I didn't really see it. You guys can talk about it. I didn't. I showed up late to it. But...
Well, so keeping it on topic. Another thing I want to point out that you guys didn't mention is the music. Before the movie started.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's on me. That's on me.
When the logos were unfolding, it was like instant transportation to that world. A lot of percussion, a lot of just flute, like Asian style flute playing. Really setting the tone that went from like really hardcore to whimsical and stuff like that. It was really good. And by the way, Lucas mentioned to me he got Treasure Planet and Atlantis vibes from this movie. Guess who did the music for this movie?
Are you kidding me?
The same guy who did the music for those, James Newton Howard.
Okay, that further cements. Okay, well, 1 minute. Let me cut you off. I'm sorry, Justin.
Yeah, go ahead.
But like that further cements what I was saying about this movie too. Like when we were talking, was it definitely gave me the early 2000s Disney feels, where it was more action oriented and more like about what's going on, like in fast pace, than like just a love story or like trying to find true love's kiss. Like that was like, I like it when Disney breaks away from what they're known for. And that's why I
I
really like
don't.
Atlantis. I really like Treasure Planet. I really like Lilo and Stitch. All those, like even Home on the Range, which is something people don't really know about, or Dinosaur. Like all those movies, I love
Did the
growing
music for
up.
Dinosaur too?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Called it.
Yeah.
And I don't even pay attention to music like that. I called it. That's great.
Yeah.
I also liked how they didn't do the music from the trailer in the movie.
Yeah, you did mention
I
that.
don't even
did.
remember the music, so
It was like this weird, like it sounded like a violin being like pulled on like some weird blade.
Yeah.
I love that they didn't incorporate the same thing. I don't know. I was really impressed. Everything.
Yeah, the music was really good. Gabby was saying she hasn't watched it yet because it's premium only, or if you're feeling comfortable to go to the movie theater. So you have two options.
yeah. But eventually they should just make it on just normal Disney Plus so that you don't have to pay. So I would just wait a little bit, Gabby.
Yeah.
Wait a couple months.
Yeah.
That's what happened with the Mulan movie.
With Mulan.
Yeah, with the Mulan.
And
yeah.
Onward, or not Onward, the other animated movie that just came out from Pixar.
Soul came out
Soul.
for free.
Oh, did
Yeah,
it?
so it came out for free, yeah.
Of day one, it was day 0 free.
I still gotta watch that
Yeah.
one.
Hi, Dad.
Hey. So you got your family coming in.
Look
Awesome,
at
awesome.
them. Aw.
But what are they doing that now? I thought if I had Disney Plus, I'll be able to watch any Disney movie. I mean,
Because it's
when
new.
because it's new. So once, I think maybe like they were saying, like in a couple months, then it'll be added to the list and you can watch it for free. So that's something that's Disney's they're trying to make money off of the movie. So, and I think this
that's
movie was
good.
more expensive than Mulan. Because Mulan was $20 and I think this is $30. So
No, Mulan
No,
was
Mulan was
30.
34.
Oh, was it
34.99, right?
oh,
No, just
34.
30.
No, it
Oh, I
wasn't
thought
just
Mulan was
30. It was
20.
like 34.
No.
Anyways, but something I think Disney should implement is like how HBO Max does theirs. The movie comes out for like a couple weeks for free on the streaming
A
service,
month.
and then they take it
month.
off.
30 days.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then they take it off to let it play its run in theaters,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
and then I'm assuming they'll put it on later.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, HBO Max is a little bit more expensive, but yeah, it's definitely worth it if you want those instant drops of the movies. That's not what we're talking about, though.
Well, no, I'm just comparing the two because
Yeah.
it is I think a hindrance to a lot of people right now that don't want to leave their house to go see this movie and they want to see it. But when they see the price tag for it on Disney Plus, they're like, "Why do I pay an extra $30-something to go see this movie?"
Yeah, they don't want to do that. Yeah.
Whereas other streaming services are giving you a better option for their properties.
Yeah, because if you think about it, if you pay the $30 plus what the this month's charge for Disney Plus, that's what you're paying for the month. So, and people are looking at that and they're like, yeah, I don't think so.
I guess that's worth it if you have a big family.
Yeah, if you have a big family, but
It's
Or you have a bunch of
cheaper.
people coming over for like a watch party, it's definitely cheaper. But at the same time, not everyone's like that.
Right.
I think I might have froze. Do I look good to you guys?
You froze.
Froze, my dude.
Well,
You look very sophisticated in your freeze.
knowing that I froze a little bit, I will let you guys. Looks like it's been 10 minutes, so we'll go into spoiler talk while I look for
Okay.
this. So I will let Lucas take while I figure this out.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to
Everybody
the spoiler
dies.
talk. Everyone
No, I'm
dies.
kidding.
So we're going to spoiler talk, huh? All right. So first off, it gives me Avatar: The Last Airbender vibes and Korra as well, Legend of Korra. The way everything's structured and the way everything is set up.
Last Airbender. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
each one of these areas within Raya are a tribe essentially based off of the parts of a dragon. And each area is very different from the other.
Can I just the names are Fang,
Yep.
Heart, Spine, Talon, and Tail.
Wait, what is
Yeah.
Those
that?
are the tribe names.
Those are the
Those
tribe
are the
names.
tribe names. Could it be any cooler? Anyway, continue.
Yeah, exactly. It's the parts of a dragon.
Yes.
So the reason why I say it's very similar to Avatar: The Last Airbender is within Avatar you have these each people from all these different nations coming together at the end to like, well, in there you fight the villain, but they come together for a better cause. Whereas the same thing of Raya, each one of the main like people in their group is from every one of these different places, and they come together to like finalize in the third act. So everyone from Heart, Fang, Tail, it's the same as like Air Nation, Fire Nation, Water Nation, Earth Nation, etc., etc. And then the character design is very similar to the Legend of Korra character design, with the way all their attire looks and the way everyone's designed, like physically. That
I
was just a
haven't seen
little,
that, so
yeah. That's just a little comparison that I saw watching it. But I mean, Raya is a very aggressive / very determined person. She will fight you if she has the chance. She will not hold her punches. She will try all she can to get what she wants and desires. So the movies about them trying to reshape a heart of the dragon, which was a jewel that like saved their world. Essentially, there was these things called the Druuns, and they were turning everyone to stone. Essentially, they were stealing like their life essence. And the dragons, which exist in this universe, they're like the mythical protectors of the world, mind you. They had all this magic, and they were fighting off the Druun. Finally, the final, was it five or six dragons came together, fused all their magic into a gem, and then Shisu, the last dragon, released their magic and sealed the Druun within the dragon stone. Then all these other dragons turned to stone, and Shisu disappeared. Essentially, the people then went and fought for the dragon stone because that's all that was left of the magic of the dragons, and that's what tore everybody apart, which caused all these nations to break apart and each one to like want to covet the gem.
Yeah.
Moving forward, Heart, which was
Right.
I would consider like the peaceful ones out of everyone that was part of these nations. They were the one who kept the gem, controlled and saved until the chief decided that it was a smart idea to bring everybody together. I mean, in the long run, it's a smart idea to try and rebuild your nation. And then when he brought everybody there, someone from the Fang Nation decided that they wanted to have the gem for themselves. Went and tried to steal the gem, and then the gem broke apart, and then all the nations got pieces of the gem, and the Druun was released.
So was the Fang Nation the Fire Nation?
That's
Yeah.
Do you see now why I'm saying it's basically Avatar: The Last Airbender?
Yeah.
Also, just the touch of like the character design and everything, it's very Southeast Asian, like South Asia, very like Philippine kind of area.
Yeah.
Very
The Wikipedia said they were specifically doing countries like Thailand, Vietnam, Indonesia, Philippines, Myanmar, and they actually did scouting out there to kind of get
To
the
keep it
environments.
to keep it as accurate. Yeah.
exactly. You go from a frozen bamboo forest to a like dry desert to like a bustling like waterway trading town to like an inner city where it was like it's all this lush rainforest around you, and then this big huge fortress that Fang's area looks more like something out of a video game. That's the only thing I will say. Their designs, their clothing designs, and everything.
You mentioned video game. I would say the first 3/3 or 2/3 of this movie felt like a video game in the MacGuffin hunt nature of.
I agree.
You got several pieces of this orb. The goal is to bring them together. Like a video game, you hunt, you go to a new environment, you have a challenge or tribulation there. You complete the challenge, you get the orb. And then the dragon, not only do you get the orb and you're one step closer to the objective, but the dragon gets a little bit of a power up because she gets access. Sisu gets access to her brothers and sisters' powers. And so then you move on to the next one. Then when they get towards the end of the movie, it got rid of that. It went kind of closer to Mulan in the sense that everything kind of got real at the end. And it was very tense for that last. It was kind of whimsical up to that, but it was really, really tense towards that last chunk of it.
I thought for sure the leader of the Fang Empire was going to be bad, no matter what. I thought she was actually going to be a villain.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they
Yeah.
made it seem like. Either the mom or the daughter was going to be like the
I don't
villain.
think Namari was going to be a villain. I knew she would have
She
like
was
a
on that
change of
path.
heart.
I mean, she was being disloyal, and
There was definitely, like, you could tell in the beginning of the movie. Well, you didn't see the beginning. There was a bond
I did
with her and Raya
Yeah.
when they first when her dad, the chief, decided that he wanted to bring everyone together. Like there was definitely, like, you could see the bond building there, even though she was stabbing her in the back essentially to get the jewel. But I definitely could tell that that wasn't going to be the outcome. She was not going to be the villain. I was very dead set on that. So
I don't think
but
that's the story they wanted to tell.
no, they wanted to tell you like a story of like camaraderie and like
Trust.
banding together and trust and like the trials of hardship basically. Like trying to deal with something really bad, but trying to make the best out of it.
True. Yeah. Trying to pull up an image of the Druns.
The Druuns.
Yeah, the Druuns. I there's something about the Druuns, how like the way they looked and the way they
were
moving,
animated.
The way
What
they were
are
animated,
Druuns?
yeah.
They were
that
big
little-
purple
the
clouds, basically.
the purple clouds.
Okay. Haha. I thought
I
they
like
looked cool.
purple clouds.
Yeah, like just seeing like the way it was moving and the way it was making the sounds and as it turned people into stone, it was pretty. I loved the idea and it was pretty creepy and I was just like,
It was
whoa.
creepy.
I liked how it was something she couldn't hit with a sword.
Yeah,
True, yeah.
Like she
even
actually
though
had
they
to
had a
think.
really awesome sword.
Let me tell you, that sword was awesome.
There was multiple facets to that, but we'll get to that in a little bit.
Yeah.
Continue.
There's so much I can talk about this movie. Like Tuk Tuk, like watching like the actions and character Tuk Tuk. That probably was one of the highlights of the movie for me. Like there was a running gag where he would like fall on his back and couldn't handle it. I liked all the side characters that they introduced. I mean, a couple of them were weak in my opinion, but they weren't but they were all great in their own right.
Do you know who voiced Tuk Tuk? He actually had
No.
a voice. It was Alan Tudyk, who's K2SO from Raya.
Are you serious? That makes sense because he was the rooster in Moana.
Yep.
He was gay.
They like him.
Yeah. They like him for like not having a voice, just making weird sounds.
Yeah, there's just like Tuk Tuk. Like I said, when I first saw Tuk Tuk, I did not think Tuk Tuk was gonna be big. Like, you know, for those who didn't know, when I went to go see it with these guys at the movie theater, I showed up late, so I was able to rewatch it today. Hey, here for a moment. How you doing? Welcome to the stream.
Hey guys.
Hey.
Yeah, it's a great
Definitely.
movie. That's what we're getting into. Tuk Tuk is one of those sidekick characters that I really loved. He had like cute moments. He was always eating. You could see how much he cared for Raya. You know, he was like, always there looking for her, being concerned. And they just, they grew this bond. And even when Tuk Tuk was like the little baby, it was just like, like in the one scene with the booby traps, he's just like rolling and then he stops. And I think he was about to eat something, right? And she's like, Tuk Tuk. And then he's like, looked at her and he's like, oops, sorry, I got distracted. And so, I don't know. They had a lot of little good, cute moments. And
he was really cute when he was tiny.
yeah. And
I think he was cute when he was big and tiny, but that's with me.
Yeah.
That's with me.
I mean, he was, but he was cuter tiny.
I liked the gags that he had, basically. Like when Shishu, when she finds Shishu, and like the moment like he looks up, like he looks into like the broken wooden like the ship, and then like all the blast comes out, and he just goes and falls over.
Yeah.
And then you're just like helpless out there. Like, how do you get back up? What's going on?
Yeah, that's the pill bug trope.
So Katrina was saying, at the beginning of the movie, when Raya and the dad was training, did anybody else notice when Raya was crying or whatever, her tears were glowing?
Was it glowing or just like reflection from the Dragonstone?
Yeah,
I don't
that
remember.
could
It
that
might
could
just
have been
be them paying attention to detail, and it was just the light of the stone bouncing off the tears.
Mhm.
yeah, because I
I don't.
didn't
I don't
notice.
remember personally.
I don't either.
I don't
There
remember
there was
either.
so much to look at all the time that details like that I would spot, but like it's just such a
Oh,
pretty movie.
in the beginning though, or like in that scene when she was training with her dad, he was training her like she was trying to get the stone. Um, where where was she crying? Because I thought the only part that she cried was after the the drones were released, and she was trying to drag him or help him out of the city, or and he was like no, and then he tossed her into the
The ocean.
water, yeah, the ocean river, whatever. So I thought that's when I thought she was crying or about to.
Hmm.
So I'm trying to think in that scene where she was crying.
I'd have to see
I
it again.
honestly don't remember, but
I don't fully either, but like it
Um,
was
Very
very
Disney.
heartfelt.
yeah,
But
Very Disney.
I also want to say that part of that made me think of the snapping from Marvel.
Well, yeah, exactly. But
So
What?
all these people, okay, so think about it, right? So when the snap happened, we advanced like what, five years?
Yeah.
So
exactly.
essentially 20 years pass within the world of Raya, and all these people that got turned to stone, they haven't aged while everyone else around them has aged.
yeah. I was looking, yeah, because like for example, because like Raya was a very young girl when he
Very
tossed
young,
her into
yeah.
the water, and now she's this young adult, and so that's what makes it, and that's what makes that moment too like heartfelt, because she's like the way she said pa, it was
Bah.
like, yeah, it was like just like
Yeah.
that, yeah, connection. You're like, oh, my heart. And
I
they
will
start running
say. Oh,
into it.
sorry.
No, you go ahead.
I will say the when they were talking about predictability, me and Lucas were both talking about he gonna die, or at least get turned to stone. So
Yeah.
that one part very predictable. But
Well, it's
like we
Disney.
keep talking about the
The parents are
Or-
gonna get it.
and what kind of outdid it was towards the end. And do you want to talk about the Raya as a character, since I keep seeing that come up? By the way.
I just put it there for talk. I mean, you
Okay.
can make your point and then we'll get into
Okay.
it, because she is
No,
the
just
main-
the part at the end where Raya was trying to do what her father wanted and express trust,
yeah.
and there was that tense standoff after she was betrayed, where they kind of both Raya and I think Namari,
Namari, yeah.
they kind of both together in their inability to trust each other caused the stone avalanche of everybody turning into stone. I didn't predict that at all. I didn't know Disney was going to go that dark with it so quickly.
I thought Shishu died.
Very
I
surprising.
didn't think Shishu was gonna come back. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Oh, it's Disney.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
I know,
it's
but
Disney.
like there was a part of me that was like, oh crap, she might actually be dead.
no, I know she was coming back.
Yeah, I knew she was coming
Yeah.
back. With Justin bringing up that the whole trust thing, it just reminded me. So the whole movie is pretty much the learning lesson is about trust. And what's interesting is that you can kind of relate to Raya, is that you don't want to trust people, and then the moment you trust them, they backstab you, and then
Mhm.
you're like, okay, I'm never going to trust again, and then you trust again. So like the first time was with Namari. Then as she gets older, she even went into what town was it? I think it was the Talon, where she goes in the market and she's like, don't trust anyone, there's a baby, and then she's like, oh, there's
Oh
a
no, that
baby.
wasn't Talon. That was
Spine.
that wasn't Talon.
Heart?
No,
No, it wasn't
Spine.
Spine.
Spine was the bamboo forest. Tail
Heart?
was the desert wasteland. Heart is her Raya's homeland.
And Fang is Namari. So
The
I think
Talon.
No, Fang is
Fang is
Talon.
where
Okay,
the
so
Talon
it was
is.
okay. Yeah, you're right. Okay.
So like, and then she trusts the baby, and the baby was a calm baby, and then and then
That was an
Talon
adult
baby.
baby. That was a very big. That was a very tiny adult.
we'll get to the baby, and then she trusts
We'll get to the
Namari.
baby.
She trusts Namari again, towards the end when
Baby.
she had Sisu with her, and with the whole arrow thing, and then again she gets betrayed. So it's kind of like it's a good comparison in life where, you know, you sit there, you don't want to trust someone, you know, you start off trusting them and then they break their trust, and then you don't want to trust, but then you find someone new and you trust them, they did the same thing, and then a trust again, and then the same thing, you get backstabbed. And so it was just interesting that they put that in the movie, and because I mean their whole um what's the word I'm looking for, message is to trust people. One of the interesting lines in the movie was when Raya was talking to Sisu, and Sisu was like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe I trusted that lady and she lied to me," and you know, and then Raya was like, "Hey, the world's broken. You can't trust anyone." And then Sisu said,
Yeah.
"Maybe it's broken because you don't trust anyone." And I was
Right.
like, "Ooh, that was really good."
It was a lot of
Good
like
writing. Good writing.
it was a lot of like thought process in this movie. I feel like you actually have to think about what's going on.
Yeah,
Yeah. And that's the thing with a lot of the previous Disney movies. You want the characters to overcome challenges, and we're so used to the character whenever they make their turn, when they're in trouble, they're you know not doing so well. A lot of times in a lot of these movies, the characters will just solve the problem by punching harder or something. But this one was by, instead of fighting harder, you choose not to fight and choose another way to go about
Exactly.
things.
Like
And
I
I
said,
like that a lot.
yeah, like I said about the Druun, it's literally a enemy she couldn't fight,
Hmm.
something she couldn't
Yeah,
like
yeah.
physically do anything against.
no, she couldn't.
And yet she was still a strong heroine figure
Exactly.
for us
I
to
also
watch
like,
her.
yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Another thing I liked about her is like she didn't win all her fights either, like her
Hmm.
actual physical fights. Like Nambari whooped her in spine.
Hmm.
Nambari like whooped her hard. The only time that she was able to beat Nambari was when she was fueled by rage, and I feel like that's actually like a proving point of like sometimes anger actually wins.
Well, she beat her
But
too
there
when she
were
was younger.
consequences. There were
Of
consequences
course, there's
for
always consequences,
her
but
rage bout. Yeah.
definitely it proves that like if with enough anger, you could definitely overpower things you didn't think you could.
Um, so what do you guys think about, I mean, now that we're kind of focusing on Raya, what do you think about her as a character, as a now probably going to be a princess? Like, you know, where does she rank for as a Disney princess? You know, where, you know, what do you guys think of her as just a Disney character, and just her, how she was and everything in the movie?
Carla, why don't you talk right now?
Yeah. Yeah.
I liked her. No, she was very like determined and brave. She reminded me of Mulan a lot, like personality wise. Very like, this is what I want and this is what I'm gonna go for, pretty much. So yeah, I like her personality, and I like how you know, she was kind of like serious, you know, like she wasn't super. So
Yeah.
I did like that about her.
Yeah.
She did a better job than Moana. I don't know. I like Moana a lot. But she reminded me way more, a lot more of Mulan than Moana did.
Definitely because of the Asian experience, Asian like influence for sure.
I don't know if that's why, but it
Yeah, I
just
don't
did.
know if it would say age, but
No,
um,
Asian. I said the Asian
oh,
influence of the movie
oh, I think you
is
said
what made me
age. I
think
was
she's very
like
similar to
age.
Mulan. No, 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 no. No, a lot of people I feel like compare her to Moana because of like the way she looks, and I don't think she looks like
Yeah.
Moana at all.
But Moana wasn't really a fighter per se.
No,
Moana
she
Yeah.
just,
wasn't a fighter at all.
that's what
No,
I'm saying. But
Yeah.
Mulan could fight, not at
Ex-
first, but then she
Yeah.
could fight. And
but
Raya,
if yeah, and I was gonna say if you look at Raya and Mulan, like
mhm.
both of them being fighters, I like the way Raya fights. She's just more impressive and fierce, and I don't know,
I don't,
has more of the kung fu in the martial arts in there. I don't know.
I don't pay attention to
Yeah.
that,
Good
but
choreography.
Yeah,
you're
Raya
probably
fights like
right.
Raya fights like she's seen some crap, basically.
She
hmm
has.
Mulan fights like she's part of the army, which she was.
Well,
And
Mulan
she struggles at
learned.
first. Yeah.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
did struggle a lot.
Hmm.
I love Mulan.
Um,
Love
Yeah.
Mulan.
and I would say too, not to interject too quickly, but I would say that for people comparing her to Moana, Moana's thing was escaping tradition and her
Mhm.
responsibilities, whereas Mulan and Raya, their environment, their situation is extremely desperate, and I would say Raya's is way more desperate than Mulan's because that
Yeah.
was more. But they both have the similar father daughter
Mhm.
motivations behind their struggles, their plot. So yeah, I would say it's a better comparison to Mulan in that fashion as well.
So I
Yeah.
have a random question.
Mhm.
Uh, her mom. Did we just assume that she wasn't around?
There's no
Yeah.
moms in Disney. No, I'm
Well, that's what.
just
Same
Yeah,
for
She's dead.
same Lucas. Same for Nemari's. She didn't have a dad, right?
Yeah, no dad that we know of.
Okay, because they didn't even mention.
So that is interesting. So Raya didn't have a dad. I mean, a
No,
Mhm.
mom,
right mom. Yeah.
and Namari didn't have.
Amari's dead as well.
Isn't that's interesting? Yeah, I don't know. There's no backstory, anything, and if you think about it at the end, you're just kind of like, huh, what did
Yeah.
happen?
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
just wonder.
yeah, it's just you just see that, and Raya was the movie started off with her at a real young age, so either
Mhm.
maybe her mom had birth and she died from having birth, or she died at a very when Raya was at a very young age because
Huh.
Raya was started off pretty young, so
Mhm.
Yeah. Do we want to? I also want to touch on the voice actress.
Mhm.
Did you know it was Kelly Marie Tran?
I saw the name, but I don't refresh me on
She's
who she is.
Rose from the Last Jedi.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Rose. Who's
Yeah.
Rose?
The girl who was mostly hanging out with Finn in the Last Jedi,
Rose.
Star Wars.
Rose.
She
Not
had
a
the
relevant
necklace.
character.
She had the necklace with the half moon.
I didn't know that was her.
I
Mhm,
cannot
that's her.
remember. I
Disney
don't remember.
giving her some work after they kind of sidelined her in
Oh.
the
Dis-
final Star Wars movie.
Katrina was saying Disney doesn't write in moms because Walt lost his mom so early
Oh, really?
in age, and he told the writers not to write in a mom in a lot of the movies.
I knew
I-
about losing the mom thing, but I didn't know he told him not to write
Yeah, I
mom.
didn't know that. I guess that makes sense.
It does.
I
Wow.
didn't know that either.
I knew that I knew the first part of that statement from Katrina. I didn't know the second part.
Well, there you go.
Mhm.
Okay.
Um,
The only mom I can think of in a Disney movie really is like Toy Story, but they don't really use her a lot.
No, you have
Moana has a mom.
yeah.
And a dad.
Is she the
Rapunzel's-
central focus of the story though? Her relationship?
Oh, no.
Rapunzel's mom is alive.
Anyways,
yeah, yeah. So it's
Moving on.
interesting.
There's some
Moving on.
moms. There's some moms.
Cool. That's a cool fact though.
It
That
is.
is.
That.
Yeah, that is. Thank you, Katrina. We didn't know that.
Mhm.
Do you guys favorite character? I know like you guys don't really know names, but or if you can't remember the names, but who was your favorite character? And let me start. My favorite besides so Tuk Tuk was one, and I already gave you some of my reasons. The other one was Captain Boone.
The kid.
Oh yeah, Boone.
Yeah, the little
That's
boy.
awesome.
Yeah, he was another one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Just the way he always had an answer for everything, and then he was cooking too. So I'm all about food. So the fact that he was over here cooking and like making soups and
Food.
yeah, and food and stuff. And what's interesting, if we're talking about how accurate Disney was trying to be with this being focused on Southeast Asia, the name of the soup that he's making is
Oh
called
my god. The
Tom
soup was
Yum
so-
soup. Yeah.
That was like the best animated food I've ever seen in my life.
And didn't it look good? Like it even
Also-
made me
Yeah.
hungry. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm the one that's all about
All
food,
the
and it
food there made me hungry. Even the yarn ball, whatever they were eating.
Yeah.
So
some
it was,
of the food,
so that was another reason why I loved Captain Boone. And then what else? Who else? I guess I did like the Calm Baby. He called her
Katrina.
let me see, I wrote it down. Noi.
Noi? Yeah.
Yeah, he was, and I really liked her as a baby. I know some people didn't care for the baby. They're like that was kind of random or
Her facial animation scared me.
yeah. What was a cute moment of her was when she was gliding in the air, passing Raya, and she was like, "Bye." The way she said it was so cute. I was like, I would just let her go. I'd be like, you know what, you win. That was a cute moment. You're up above my head, and that was cute. That
Yeah.
was cute. Because you were saying the little boy did remind her of the boy in Moana.
Oh, you mean the one that did
The
like
one
the
who's in
little
love.
dance where he was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I could see that.
yeah, I can see that
Um,
too.
Another favorite character. I mean, Sisu also. I mean, you have to, you know, love Sisu, and I guess
It
Raya.
was Mushu 2.0.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got exact same like
Less
vibes.
sassy, but
Yeah.
yeah. Basically, the function of the story
hmm
served the same way that Mushu did. Do you want who's next? Unless
Uh,
Alex is still going.
I think Namari and Raya are my favorite characters. Namari probably first.
Hmm.
I like the struggle that she had. She also I'm going to reference Avatar again because she reminded me of characters from Legend of Korra. It reminded me of Kuvira and Korra herself.
Hmm.
I liked her design. I liked her outfit. I liked like I said, the struggle. Like she was basically trying to do what she thought was right, but doing it the wrong way. But at the same time, trying to do what was right. But I feel like a lot of her choices were influenced by her mom, and I don't think the mom had the right sense either. And then just seeing the sheer like pain in her face when she shoots Shishu because she wasn't going to. She wasn't going to.
No, I
But
mean,
because of Raya
yeah,
not trusting people, she pulled and she should died.
yeah. I mean,
Uh, yeah.
or no, keep going, keep going.
No, I'm
We'll
just
talk about scenes.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
I also I liked her clothing too. I like the color palette for Fang, right? Fang, that was where she's from.
Yeah,
Yeah. I like the color palette for their nation a lot. I like the whites and the golds. I think they go very well together. I don't know. I really like that character. I really liked
Uh-huh.
her. Even though like every time she was on the screen, I was like, oh god, she's on the screen again, because she was very like abrasive when she's on the screen. She's always like in your face, but like the real villain of the movie is everybody. Everybody that lives on that continent.
No, it was Namari's mom, I think.
I would just say the idea of not trusting people.
Exactly.
The
Like
fear, really fear.
yeah, everybody on the
Fear,
continent was their own worst enemy.
fear is the path to the
Dark side.
dark side. Yeah.
A Star Wars.
Yeah.
I mean, if I had to think who was like the real, besides like you said, I mean, everyone was at fault, and you guess you could say they were all the villain because they were all being acting
Like the
strong. But I mean,
only
like I said, I thought, I mean, maybe the mom a little bit because she was the influence.
Mm-hmm.
She was the influence to
Namari's actions.
Mari since she was young, because I'm pretty sure that's the reason when they knew they were invited to go over in the beginning, she probably planted the idea like, hey,
Yeah.
she has a little girl, her name is Raya. Maybe you should
Mm-hmm.
connect with her and see if she
Yeah.
leads you to the Dragonstone. Then it did. That's why she had the little fireworks, so it was all planned. And then as she got older, she
I agree.
so I would say, I mean, there wasn't no real villain, but if there was a villain, it was the mother, up until obviously before she turned into stone, because afterwards then she's all like, I'm a good mom, and oh my gosh, what was I thinking? So
Yeah, she was certainly the antagonist.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Villain is a bit of a, but yeah. Yeah, same. Katrina, same.
Yeah.
Carla,
What about
do you want to go?
yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, I was gonna ask Carla, yeah, what did she thought?
Favorite probably Raya. I mean, yeah. That's it.
Just Raya, that's it.
Just Raya. I like her dad too, but he's barely on the movie. But he was genuinely a good man, and he wanted, for everyone to just pretty much get along and make the world better. But I don't want to call him a favorite character because he was barely in the movie. So definitely Raya for me,
Yeah.
honestly.
I think I was gonna say I think we can all agree. If you're trying to talk, Lucas, you're muted.
Yeah.
I think Yeah, I can't hear you. I think I mean, we all can agree that Raya is probably like up there as one of our favorite characters for the movie.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I mean, obviously she was a star, but like she had a lot of key moments, and yeah, she was. I mean, yeah. So I agree with that. But what about you, Justin?
Well, I again like Raya, to keep going on her. I mean, she felt a little bit more real. The way she would react to things, she felt a little more realistic in how she would emote and react to things. Like she wasn't very whimsical in the way she would, like a Rapunzel or somebody. She was very real to me. But I think my favorite character that we're all overlooking is, I think it's Tong or Tang, who was played by Benedict Wong.
Tong, yeah.
The big dad, the guy who he wanted to be a dad, but you know didn't have this child anymore, which was very sad. But he was also very funny. And I was just struggling to kind of
No,
know
we
who
can't hear
voiced
you.
him.
Sorry, he's asking
Yeah.
if we can hear him, but I don't hear him.
No. Maybe you want to exit and maybe come back.
Try again. Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay. Then there was three.
Yeah.
Now I was gonna say, with him, you know, I wouldn't say one of my favorites, but he did have like a moment because like, when Noi did show up, he was like a baby. So it kind of reminded him of his own child. And obviously you could see like the crib was empty and stuff. And so you're just like, oh, he had a, whether, boy or girl. And then you're like, oh, I feel for him. And he wasn't really, even though he was part of Spine, he wasn't really as mean, because he was like, oh, the last time I saw fear in an enemy's eye, and I'm going to do this and that to you, and it's so gruesome, I'm getting sick thinking about it. And then Raya was like, you're not going to do anything, and he's like, but
there
I
was
liked
a couple jokes he really made me laugh, but I'm can't place them. But I remember there was 2 times where he said something and I laughed.
Yeah.
Memorably, but not memorable enough for the podcast.
Hey, can you guys hear me now?
Yeah,
Yes.
Yay,
you're
Luke.
I'm back. I'm sorry, guys.
He's back.
No, you're
Technical
good.
difficulties.
Yeah, you're back. So I guess we covered, favorite characters. Now favorite scene. And for you guys who are in the chat, let us know in the comments if you have watched the movie.
Oh, that's hard.
Tell us what was your favorite scene, if whether it made you cry, laugh, made you happy, and also if you've just joined the stream late, it would help us out if you hit that like button for us. It would really help out our channels.
Right.
My favorite, I'll start. So my favorite scene in the movie, or one of my favorite scenes, was probably when Captain Boone was talking to Sisu, and she was like, I don't have any money. And he was like, you're an adult. You don't need money. You have credit. And she was like, what's credit? And then, she goes, she goes in there. She's like, oh, I like this. I'll put this on credit. I'm going to put that on credit.
That
And
was
what's
funny.
so funny is that
That
how,
was.
that's kind of realistic. Like when you get a credit card, it's not your money. You don't have money. And when people don't have money and have credit cards, that's how they are. They're like, ooh, put it on my credit card. Put it on my credit card. Here's my credit card. So I thought that was funny.
That was.
So that was one of my favorite scenes that I liked. I think another one would be another scene. The other scene kind of was like maybe a good 5 minutes of a scene footage, was when Raya did arrive there at Talon, and she meets the calm baby, and then she starts chasing him through the streets, and it's just just the way they were going through the streets and the different camera angles, and it was just like, I don't know, it was just really entertaining. And you're just like, even Noi had a little moment where she took her diaper off and you see her running like butt naked. You're like, and they're just kind of going through like little tight windows, and I don't know, I thought that was a good fun scene, until Tuk Tuk caught up with them, and they're like laying there, and then Raya's like that, give me the stones, and then she just like hits the I forgot what they're called. Actually, I wrote it down. Yeah, and they just spit it up. So I think that was another one of my favorite scenes. I don't know. What about you guys?
I like the opening scene when Raya is little and she's with her dad, like that scene that she's trying to get to the stone. I thought that was pretty cool, with all the water going up instead of down.
Hmm.
All that, I thought that was really neat.
Katrina was saying hers was when all the dragons came back alive. That was a beautiful scene. I mean, and when they come back to life, and as they're heading towards Fang, and they're right there to go revive Sisu. I think that was a beautiful moment too. That was another one of my favorite scenes because they're just like going around, you know, I don't know what they're doing, a dance or whatever, to kind of bring her back to life. And I mean, it was nice because you can see the colors and they're just kind of going around the water, just kind of following. And then, you know, Sisu's kind of coming up slowly, and then she wakes up and she's like, oh, like all her family's all around, a brother, sister. They weren't saying hi to her. I thought it was funny. She's like, oh, hey, hey. And they're just still going around in circles. I was like, dang, you guys can at least say hi to her. You brought her back from the dead.
I think that was one of my like grievances with the movie, because I have like one or two things where I can like nitpick at the movie to say they could have done a little better, and that could
I
definitely be
have
something.
some.
I know you do.
Yeah.
But the other dragons not having voices while Shishu was talking to them is a little strange.
That
Yeah.
It's a little strange. Favorite scene for me is from the point after Shishu gets killed and Raya is storming Fang or Talon, whichever one it is.
Yeah, that was fun.
And then she meets with Namari, and Namari turns around and she's like, this is because of you, and her mother's been turned to stone. And then one of the most epic choreographed fight scenes in an animated movie breaks out.
Yeah.
I guess I can go now, right?
Yeah.
Did you have any more? Okay.
No.
I'm such a sucker for Disney cinematic fireworks, and that's exactly what the dragon scene at the end was. I was just like, oh, give it to me, give me all the because we kind of got that scene twice. Once in like a flashback that kind of built it up for the end, and I was.
Just
We lost Justin.
All the technical difficulties today.
sorry, guys.
Yeah, sorry.
Guess I'll let him figure that out. So,
Good Lord.
you know, another favorite scene of mine was after Sisu got hit with the arrow and she went down, and the rage that you just saw build up in Raya, like that's what I didn't feel like it was a Disney movie anymore. I was like, well, it was getting dark, and she was just like getting so upset, and you're just like, uh-oh. And then next thing you know, Captain Boone turns around, he's like, hey, what are we? And she, you know, she's sitting there, has her little hat, what are they called? I forgot what they're called, the little hat thing off the top, anyways. And she's just going into the town, and
That's what I said was my favorite scene of the whole movie.
and she's just like, she's storming in there calmly, just like looking down, and then like everyone's like running around, and then when one of the drones like, you know, came after her, she was just and like
She's
was
just,
telling her, yeah, and I was just like, oh,
you go away now.
yeah, and I just thought whoops. Yeah, I thought that's a really good scene, because even the music, if we're talking about music, that's one thing that I look at too when I'm looking at favorite
100%.
scenes, is the music. How is the music tied in, set the mood for the movie? And so when that all happened and that was building up, like, yeah, I think he's back. Hello.
Yeah.
Hi.
I wasn't sure
Hi.
if I was the only one on or if you got anyway. So
Yeah.
back now.
I was just talking about the scene about when after Sisu got killed with the arrow, and Raya was just full of rage, and you can just see the camera zooming in, and she's just getting so empowered with anger, and then she walks back into Fang, and she's just so calm, and she has her hat on, and she's looking down there, like there's chaos going around, everyone's running around, and she's just like walking in there with like a mission to be like, I'm going to kill Namari. And that's when it didn't feel like it was a Disney movie. It was starting to get dark. I was like, whoa.
Exactly. That's why I liked it so much. And I also liked how like that when she came to the confrontation of Namari and Raya, like there wasn't no pause, there wasn't them talking, there wasn't no monologue. It was like, you did this, fight.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really good. Yeah.
So I wanted to I don't know how far I got into the just
yeah, make your point.
Yeah.
I was so I get so hyped with those Disney fireworks scenes, but it's all I love all that. And the other scene, they kind of turned the movie into a little miniature 15-minute heist movie where they were trying to get one of the orbs, and they were like doing the setup. It was a really, really, really quick setup, but they're like, all right, you're going to do this and you're going to do that, and that's how we're going to get this thing. And then they executed it, and it was like they found a way to get a little heist movie in this movie. Also, blatant respect for the Indiana Jones picking up the orb out of the cave on a weighted pressure plate. Very Indiana Jones. I like that. And of course, the standoff. I mean, who doesn't love a good, tense moment between two characters? And we've talked about that moment to death, but that is definitely one of the highlights of the movie.
But that moment could easily be talked to death because of how well it was done.
Oh, and when the first time I saw the chain sword.
Oh yeah.
And it did the oh man, that was one of my hypest moments of the whole movie. I was like, here we go.
Yeah, that was a really cool sword. I mean, I was like, yeah, I want one of those swords. Like, it wasn't a normal warrior blade. It was like had the chain effect, and you're like, wow, it's like a multi function weapon. You can like
a Final
slice.
Fantasy.
Yeah. Exactly.
I want this video game.
Ivy's blade from Soul Calibur is the exact same thing.
Yeah.
The exact same weapon. It's crazy.
What about you, Carla?
What?
Some favorite scenes.
I already said.
Yeah.
You ain't got no more?
No.
Okay. I feel like we have multiple ones, and then like
no, I'm pretty simple.
Can we talk about too? I don't think anybody's mentioned this in the hour we've been doing this, but they had 3 distinct animation styles for this.
Yes, they did.
And the 2 of them were 2D. One of them was like, it seemed like old school murals that were moving. Yep. I've seen these styles before, but this was like really, really, really high caliber, really well done. Yeah. And they were usually used as just to fill in context, but not that they had to use that. It was like Disney flexing, like, hey, we have all these animation styles in one movie. How do you like it?
One of them made me think of, I don't know if anybody's ever seen it. It's called A Scanner Darkly with Robert Downey Jr. Yeah, there was one of those animation styles that looked very similar to that. Katrina said, I love how Disney didn't make any of the characters sing. Yeah. I did too, honestly. Yeah. Like I said, that's why I
didn't like that.
You didn't like
at
that?
all.
That's why I said it makes me think of like the early 2000s Disney movies like Treasure Planet and Atlantis.
I'm curious. So, you guys who are watching, if you want to put a comment in the chat, did you care for the music, like, or like a character was singing or not? Like, was the way Raya was done? Were you okay with it, or would you have wished it was kind of like an original Disney movie where there was the singing and like could have had Sisu like singing, Raya singing? Mm-hmm. I don't know.
It would have killed the vibe for me.
Do you think so?
Not for me. That's what I want on a Disney movie. I mean, not just songs, but that's what makes a Disney movie, in my opinion. So I didn't like that.
So let me ask you, do you think Treasure Planet was a Disney movie? Do you think...
I don't think I've ever seen that movie.
Atlantis, do you think that's not a Disney movie?
No, it's a Disney movie. I still wish it had a song.
What about Lilo and Stitch?
That does have songs.
They're not singing songs in that movie.
Well, but it has a theme song.
Well, there's music in Raya.
No, we
I think I see where Carla's coming from, because there's not a recognizable character theme that is played when it's like set dressing more than it is character dressing. And I like that, but I also feel a little disappointed because usually after one of these Disney movies I get at least a fire song that slaps on my car on the way home, and they didn't really have
that. That's what does it for a lot of people.
But I thought the movie was better for it though. So we'll see.
And I'm talking about that. What's interesting is that even though there wasn't like a set theme song for a certain character, like, because I appreciated the music so much, I actually, when I was like video editing earlier, I had the soundtrack, some of the songs in the soundtrack playing in the background. And I was like, it was like, I don't know, I like, it made me picture certain scenes in the movie. So even though, you know, it wasn't, I was just like,
Sorry, guys, we have animals fighting.
Comparing it with Mulan really quick, which we have been doing, even though it's totally different style of animation, whatever, it's not the same story, but it kind of reminds me of Mulan. Mulan has songs, and it was perfect. Like, it was great. So
Yeah.
I don't know why you guys, but I mean, it's your opinion, and I respect that. I'm just telling mine. I didn't like that, and something else I didn't like. So that was my only two things with the movie, but you know.
Mm-hmm. And to service your argument,
Hmm.
Carla, the pacing is almost identical to Mulan, where
Mm-hmm.
as soon as the Huns that their carnage of the battlefield is finally revealed, there
Mm-hmm.
is no more songs from that point to the end of the movie. This movie had a very
Right.
similar structure when
Right.
as soon as that standoff happened, there's no more whimsical nature. So they could have done it, but it just this felt more culturally like
Appropriate.
I felt transported to a world, not like I was watching a play, which Disney does really well.
Mhm.
But this was really such a high level of being in that world. I felt like this world left behind, and I was in that world from the moment the music started all the way through.
So I like what Katrina was saying. Like she's saying, it's not like a Frozen, Little Mermaid, Moana type of music. The movie didn't
Right.
need a song.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It was just the way they, excuse me, the way they designed that movie. It just, I was okay with it not being a song. I mean, I get it. Like I get what you're saying. You know, like it would have been nice for you, and maybe there's some people out there that actually wanted the music, or you know, music, or a song, or some kind of singing. But I don't know. There was just something about this particular movie, right? Even though we're comparing it with Moana, like Moana felt like it needed the music, and this one really didn't, and it did well. I mean, and
Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel like Raya was more attuned to like the live action Disney movies, like take Pirates of the Caribbean, for example, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's Stitch can sing if you play a record with his claw and open his mouth. Oh, be
There you
quiet.
go.
But yeah, so take Pirates of the Caribbean, for example, very well done by Disney without having any type of people like having a theme song, but they have great or like background style music, which is what Raya was. It was basically Disney live action in
See,
animated form.
I don't
yeah,
want
and
to get. Go ahead, Alex.
no, I was gonna
Sorry.
say, bringing that comparison, like whenever Johnny Depp, you know, when there was a scene of him, there was an iconic music playing, even though there was no
Mhm.
singing or anything. When you hear that music, you know it's Johnny Depp. So like with,
Yeah.
I was gonna say Moana, Raya, um, there were certain scenes like when I was hearing the soundtrack, I can picture Raya like it was connecting. So that was
Exactly.
the same thing right there. That was a good comparison.
Exactly. Whereas,
Yeah.
like, if I saw Pirates of the Caribbean as an animated movie over a live action movie, like, I wouldn't want them to be singing silly Disney songs. I would be wanting to still the Pirates
Okay,
of the
so
Caribbean movie.
I low key want a musical
mm,
pirate movie now.
What were
I
you,
kind of do.
what were you gonna ask, Carla? What were you gonna ask? You look like you're
no,
about to
he
ask something.
said a silly
Oh,
Disney song, and I didn't like that because I just didn't like that comment.
oh.
Whimsical would maybe, but same thing. I
But
think
look
that's
how
understandable.
silly the dragons look. If you want to go there,
Um,
Yeah.
I I I didn't like the way the dragons look at all. It
My
was
Little
like
what
Pony
half
my
My
vibes.
Little Pony, half iguana looking body. I didn't like it. And you know what my problem is? Everything about this movie, they made it look so serious and so like good looking. And then you look at Sisu, whatever the name was, and to me it looks super silly. And I get that they're trying to, it's for kids. I get that. But like I said, everything else looks so serious and so like I can't put the words, but I didn't like it
It fell out
at
of
all.
place to you. Yeah.
yeah,
It was
Well, it's a
terrible to
Disney.
me.
It's a Disney movie. It's
yeah.
a Disney movie. That's why you had
I
those
know, but
like
everything else looked,
characters.
yeah, but everything else looked well done and well put together, like a serious movie.
Like
and the dragons being how important they were supposed to be. To me, they look silly.
Well, I mean,
I
if
mean,
we're
I
gonna
can.
look at, if you kind of want to look at least the body shape of them, because here's one thing I kind of want to nitpick on the dragons. They didn't really have wings.
No.
Their flying was gliding on like little
Yeah.
water.
They're culturally
Yeah.
appropriate.
Yeah, culturally, they're that's how dragons are kind of designed. The very
I don't
thin,
know.
slim, wavy figure, and I don't think they really had. If I think of like the images of dragons, they don't really have wings. They have a lot of like whatever scales or whatever kind of sticking around the
I know,
neck,
but
and then
it felt like the head was huge, and then the long body was like, I don't know. I'm
I
sorry.
think I think it was accurately
Culturally appropriate dragons.
No, it wasn't.
Did
for
the
the Asian
culture have
culture.
them have little unicorn things on their head? Because they had little.
Yes.
I don't remember that from the murals on the. Okay, but anyway, I digress.
I will.
I
I'm gonna
They
switch
look
this.
like a cross between the Never-Ending Story dragon and My Little Pony, but while remaining that culturally appropriate.
I'm thinking Fulgor with Twilight Sparkle's voice.
Falcor, yeah. The effects, I will say, the strands on their like crystalline hair and the how they used water, oh, absolutely breathtaking. Oh my god, so cool looking. See, they don't have
So,
horns.
They
I
have two
mean,
horns.
yeah, they have two
But they're
horns.
coming out the back, not their forehead.
Have you ever seen a Kieran before?
That's from Dragon Ball.
It's a water horse.
see
It's a water
looks
horse.
that looks more like intimidating, and I wish those would have looked like that.
You wanted them to look
You wanted them a little
intimidating.
angrier.
They were meant to be guardians, not intimidation factor.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Okay,
But I
and
mean,
that's what
I'll give-
I'm giving my opinion.
I will
Yeah.
give. I'll give you the whole.
Like,
I think
see,
it was
like that
Justin that
one?
brought up the horns. They should have at least had two horns, but see the whole wavy, no wings. Like, I mean, I don't know how they flew back then and why they portrayed
I
a dragon looking like. Oops, not that. Trying to pull up this one. Yeah, I mean they're pretty. Yeah, I mean.
I'm trying to think of other animated dragons that I could compare it to. Like
But,
what's the
I
one
feel like
from Mulan?
Oh, okay. No, they
Mushu?
Yeah, isn't he a dragon?
Yeah.
yeah.
And I'm okay with the way he looked. Totally okay.
So I'm looking at Raya, and she has two horns, but they're vertical, not next to each other. So the way they design her makes it look a little bit more like a unicorn, in the face. But she does have two horns. So
Jose was saying the
That's
last thing
For real.
we need to. Last thing we need is the council culture to come after dragons now. He said, "LOL."
wait, what?
Yeah, because now
What?
they want to cancel everything because some people.
It's just a different type of dragon. It's not like they're.
No, I know, and I'm not trying to be a hater or anything.
Oh, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know his name, but
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I get that.
I mean, my only
don't
thing
like
would
it.
probably be the one horn looking like a unicorn. But other than that, I mean, they could have done this design
Yeah.
I'm looking at right now. This could have been, Sisu. She could have been like,
yeah, two big long horns going that way instead of right
Yeah.
here.
And
yeah,
the
and I mean,
head
look
and the
like the
body be
hair and
more
everything.
proportion more. I don't know.
So yeah, I mean,
Mhm.
I don't know. The moment I saw her, or yeah, her, I was like, oh, mm-mm.
yeah, that's what last thing we need is cancel culture coming after dragons now. So yeah, I mean, I guess is there anything else anyone's seen whether they liked or didn't like? And if you guys who are watching, was there anything in the movie that you liked or didn't like, besides favorite scenes?
Yeah. I had an inconsistency with the stones towards the end. So you know how whenever the Druun turned someone to stone, they automatically went like this?
Yeah,
Okay, so why didn't Raya and the guy from Spine and the baby and Boone and Namari, when they get turned to stone, they all went like this?
Yeah.
They all kind of like huddled together and they were turned to stone with the way they stayed.
I didn't pick up on that one.
Yeah.
That's a
I
good
don't know.
point.
That's I guess a plot hole.
Yeah, I did
I
notice
the Nue, the baby. I liked her, but it just felt so out of place for the movie because I kept waiting on there to be like an explanation about why this
that. I
baby
agree.
was like literally able to overcome the most difficult obstacles in the most creative ways while also being fabulous at it and being sassy and very expressive, as Lucas pointed out. But at the same time, you can't speak. And then they hyped up
Mhm.
the first words at the end. Like that
Mhm.
was more incredible than everything she'd done previous. I was just like, I kept thinking they were going to say, oh, it's not really a baby. It's just someone who looks like a baby or some other type of thing.
Yeah.
And I think it would have been more sensible for them to use a kind of animal or just some like an old person because at that point the thinking would have made a little more sense. But I enjoyed it. It was very fun to
Yeah.
watch the baby do the baby stuff. You know, but
Yeah.
It was a little weird. I
yeah,
do agree with you.
her animations were a little that scared me a little bit too
The
at points.
facial animations made me think of an old woman.
But babies are just scary in general. So you know, no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I was like, I don't know. I don't know. There's something about Disney movies that they can do that with certain characters, like where I didn't really need
Yeah.
an explanation of why the baby was a calm baby, and you were expecting it to be actual an adult, but was pretending to be a baby kind of thing. I
Or
don't know.
something, or
Yeah.
something.
Mhm.
Maybe like a dragon that was stuck in baby form. That it just seems so
Or another
um,
monkey.
out of place because the movies itself was telling a very whimsical but serious. Everything kind of made sense in its own structure, but the baby was an element that just felt like it belonged in another
Off-putting,
movie.
off-putting,
Yeah,
very off-putting, I think.
yeah.
I don't know.
Still enjoyable. Still
Yeah,
definitely. I like the baby. It's just weird.
I
yeah,
mean,
I
the
really
stuff that
like the
happened with her was
baby.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she
Yeah.
was like one of my favorites. I don't know. She didn't feel out of place in the whole movie. It was, I don't know. I liked it all. I liked her. I liked the baby.
She's cool.
Yeah.
I want a movie about the baby,
If you want to talk
not
about
the.
plot, what were you gonna say?
Just a movie about the baby. That's what he
Oh,
said.
Give me the movie
the
about the
baby.
baby.
Looking at this picture, and I think just thinking about the movie. Remember when what was his name? The dude from Spine, the big dude.
Tong
Tong,
or
yeah.
Tang.
When he's Tong or Tang, yeah. He said that Noi, because remember he gave her a name and he was like, it was on her collar. He was like, oh, you guys didn't
That
check
was
that.
it.
And I was
That
like,
was it.
but you look at
That
it, she
was the
didn't really
part.
have a
Yeah.
collar. I mean, it was funny,
Now,
but she didn't have a
now,
collar.
I thought it was a great character moment because when they show him, there's a baby like um crib, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So the fact that he looked in the collar and saw that she had a name shows that he's an awesome dad.
Hmm, yeah.
He was
And
an
it's one of
awesome
those.
dad.
It's one of those like little tiny character like development or like character aspirations.
Yeah. That people don't look too deeply into. Yeah.
He was like a condensed version of like all the best anime dads to me. He's just
Yeah.
cool. He's just cool.
Katrina was saying I wanted more of a backstory or more explanation on the different areas. They just threw everyone together and called it a day. Um, and with if you're kind of thinking about like the different areas, Raya kind of just breezed through like all the areas to grab the stones, and there's not. So it's like you took the time to make these beautiful, from Spine and Fang. There's beautiful little, city, towns, whatever you want to call them, regional areas, and it was like there's no backstory, there's no like a little bit deeper details, or at least Raya staying there for a little bit longer to kind of, I don't know, she was just kind of like in and out, got the stone, in and out, got the stone, picked up a couple people. I mean, it was just like her go in, grabbed the stone, picked up a new person to tag along, a new traveling buddy, out of the town.
It was like a D&D campaign.
I want this video game. Give it to me. I want to say too, the wardrobe. We've talked a lot about that, but like not gotten too deep into it. Beyond the animation, just the design of some of the clothing in this, and how Raya got multiple outfits throughout, and then Other than her hat, the hat didn't do it for me. The cloak though, it was like it was very video game in the sense that, oh, she's in this area, she's trying to blend in, she needs a cloak. Oh, she's in this area, she's in the desert, she needs a little bit loose clothing. And it was very cool. It kind of, and the wardrobe reminded me a lot of the video game Horizon Zero Dawn. I don't know if y'all have ever played that.
I do.
But
I know
y'all check it out, and it's the closest thing I've seen to that. It's pretty amazing.
I don't know. I liked her outfit and the hat.
Yeah, you like the hat?
Yeah, I do like the hat. I don't know. It just that's like I see the hat and I'm like, that's Raya. You know, it was like one of those.
Well,
like,
yeah.
You know,
It-
it was.
it-
I don't
yeah.
know, like her wearing it and having her head down just made her like that much more of a cooler character. I don't know.
That was blend in mode, you know.
Yeah.
And,
So
yeah.
did anyone else get this like feeling that when they first showed her on Big Tuk Tuk that we were gonna have like a more of apocalyptic feel style movie with how she was going through Tail trying to find the gym, and it looked like a wasteland basically with all the stones, like the stone terracotta warriors people.
Mm,
Like it felt like it could have been like in Mad Max or something.
yeah.
I guess just from that scene. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they almost kind of faked us out because that was the first place we saw after the time jump.
Mhm.
And so me and Lucas were like, "Oh, is this a post-apocalyptic movie we're about to watch?" Was that the
Yeah.
extent of the color? And then, you know, after a few minutes, they got out of that area and it was back to color. But even so, I love it in movies when they go from one environment to another and it's instantly recognizable in the overall color palette. And they did that so many times with this movie,
Yeah,
especially
they did.
with the desert to forest to water,
Mhm.
everything.
The country names when the new country popped up.
Big
Loved it.
block text. Yeah.
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 Very, very Captain America Civil War.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of movies do it, but yeah.
I know,
Yeah.
but that's the movie that comes to my
I
brain
like
when
how
I
you
think
throw
about
in
it.
Marvel in there. Anyways,
Gotta get it in there.
no, yeah, I
It's
like how
owned
the
by
introductions
Disney
of the
now,
different
so-
towns.
Technically
yeah.
Disney. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, technically Disney. Yeah, they did it because I mean, not only did you get like a nice introduction, but the shot, the angled shot of it, and the music. You know, I think it played little different music to different towns that were introduced. So like that,
Mhm.
just admiring all of that. That was beautifully done. Katrina was asking or was saying I wanted a backstory about Namari, and
Yeah.
I take it.
yeah,
Yeah. It felt like they may have had a deleted scene or something. I don't know. It's like she did need a little bit more explanation.
I mean,
Nice.
with that scene, I mean, I guess they don't really explain it. I mean, because all she said was her sister can do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I don't know if I mean I was okay with that. I didn't really need an explanation because like if it has to do with magic and or magical powers, and if that was one of the dragon's magical powers, and she touched it and she can do that, then I'm like okay, you know, like it's not.
But
It's like I don't need an explanation of the water or the fog or the turning into human. And what's the other one? Trying to
the
think.
glowing,
The glowing, yeah. It just kind of like, oh, those are magical powers.
but like, so she said each different sibling had that power,
Mhm.
right? But at the same time, at the end of the movie, all the siblings had those powers. So I thought every sibling would have like a special set of powers, but they all could do the same things. So I don't know why she kept saying, "Oh, my brother could do this, my sister could do this." You know,
Maybe it's just what they did most and they were best at. That was
What
what
they
they
were known
specialized in.
gotcha.
And yeah, it was just when they touched the stone, the piece
Well,
of
you
the
know,
stone.
if
Yeah.
you want to, thinking about the dragons, what I would kind of want an explanation on is I think she has a total of like what 4 or 5 siblings, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
But at the end of the movie, there's all these dragons. So are they cousins, third cousins, aunts and uncles, or what's going on? You know, like there's these dragons came out of nowhere, and I'm like, so are you guys like the chosen ones? And they're like because it was just focused on her and her family. So what about the other dragons? So
They
yeah,
from
they
from
need
the hills of
Yeah,
Southeast Asia. They're all the family.
So I needed a little explanation on that because I was just kind of like, what, like who are you guys? You know, are you important? What are your powers? So I don't know.
Yeah,
They
the
just-
dragons didn't seem like the biggest focus, which was surprising. Especially, I did expect a little bit more.
It's in the
Explanation,
title.
but they were just, I guess, more of a mysterious, majestical race that was extinct for, you know, how long?
And
Long time.
they never really explained why the dragons didn't come back from being turned stone either.
No,
When
yeah.
the Druun were, sealed away. The dragon stayed sealed away. So
Very Zelda. It's just like, that's the magic. Go with it.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Um, I guess, is there anything you guys didn't like? Other things you want to add? I think the dragon was kind of like the main focus, and the baby.
It was the inconsistency with the stones for me that really like caught me off guard at the end. That was like the one thing that definitely stood out for me. That was the big one actually.
So,
Because I thought because it would have been cool if all of them were like this around the broken stones, but no, they were all like huddled together.
yeah,
It wasn't a big deal.
do you think? Well, here's the thing. Do you think this? Do you think the drones like forced them to go like this, or were the people choosing that? Because
But why would everybody choose that?
I don't know. I'm just throwing
Because
it.
like the symbol was this for like prayer and this for like greeting and then this for
Yeah.
like. So if you think about it, they would choose to do this, right?
I mean, I guess maybe it's a plot hole, like a plot hole because because I'm thinking about the scene where when he throws her daughter over in the water because he throws her over and he's like hunched over and then the
And then he just
he's touching him and then all of a sudden he does that, but I don't know. It almost can look like if he kind of was like, okay, I'm ready to.
I didn't see that. I saw the Druun forcing him to do it.
So I
Like,
think,
it looked very like robotic almost. Him going to that form.
okay. So then I guess I wonder why with them 4, 5 of them they all
To
were
show the power of friendship and trust.
yeah they were
If I was to nitpick and like really reach, I would say Aquafina, Sisu. If she kind of grew a little bit as a character, but not a whole lot, because she started off as kind of like innocent, happy, and loving and everything, and she even after she gotten lied to, it wasn't as destructive to her. It was kind of resolved very quickly afterwards. So
yeah
it would have been interesting to kind of see her kind of go through the character growth a little bit more, but that's just me really reaching and nitpicking.
yeah.
It was still, I think, 10 out of 10.
So Namari asked
And I
why.
hate to be so hyped for it, but it's Disney.
So Katrina asked why Namari was the one who had to save everybody, not Raya. So Namari had the most character growth out of everybody. She was the one who caused everything to go crazy, basically, and I think deserved to be the one to save everything. She had the most to lose, the most to prove. Raya was just fueled by anger the whole time. The whole time was fueled by anger. It wouldn't have made sense for someone to wouldn't make sense for someone like her to be the person that saved the world.
But I mean, I don't know if I agree with that because it's like I don't know because like I was gonna say with Namari, I feel like even though she didn't have like anger, I mean, I guess you can kind of think she had anger rage because it seemed like every time she bumped into Raya, there was some kind of like attitude. She was like, kind of upset. I don't know if it's because Raya took her map and
it was a rival.
Yeah, it's like a rival. But again, why would it be Namari and not?
Well, also as far as her motivations go, Namari was the catalyst which led to her father being turned into stone. So it wasn't like blind rage. It was more of a sense of responsibility, and her anger towards Namari was very fueled by, you are responsible for the fact that I didn't have a father for the last 5 years or however long it was. So it wasn't. Yeah,
I was gonna say I think maybe because Namari was the one who started it. Because Raya did trust her, I think that's why she was the one that had to fix everything, right her wrongs. Because she's the one that, so I don't think it had to do with like motives or who had less,
I think in the long run of the story, it makes sense for Namari to be the one who did it, though.
Yeah, because I
like how Alex, she's undoing her.
Yeah, she's undoing her. Yeah,
like I saw something happening to Raya at the end. I'm not gonna lie. Like when she turned to stone, I was like, I looked at Justin. I said, "Called it." Did I not?
Well,
I
And
remember you
then,
saying that, but I don't remember you calling it ahead of time. But that
and
well,
then,
that's
and
neither here nor
then,
there.
but what threw me off was Namari turning to stone at the end, as well. I didn't expect that. I expected
Yeah,
her to be
I will say that. Yeah.
I
Again,
expected her to
that
be like the
unpredictable.
glue. I expect her to be like the glue, like the shining light, to be like the. It's like the villain switching basically if she was the villain, or like basically her proving herself. But no, she got turned to stone too, and I was like, "What's about to happen?"
We
yeah,
didn't get that snap moment.
Yeah.
I am Raya.
no, I think because she's the one that started and she had to, right or wrongs. And if you kind of think about it, if you compare it to like life, you kind of get second chances or third chances to kind of do the right thing. And I think if that was the basis of like kind of the story with the trust thing, and it's kind of almost like real life kind of moments and relatable stuff. And so here she is an opportunity in this movie, which you can say live, to kind of right her wrongs. And it's like, and if you think about it, there was that scene where she had the stone and she was about to escape, because like some kind of opening opened up and she was like going towards it, but then she looked back. So it's like a lot of times we kind of want to do the right thing, but then we kind of almost can do, like most of the time we end up failing and doing the wrong thing. But I don't know, she knew that was her opportunity. She's like, you know what, I'm gonna make this right. And so I think that's why I believe she, if if we had to find a reason why she had to be the one to save
But did you
everyone.
guys notice that when they all came back, Raya was the first one that like came back?
That's a good point.
Maybe it's like she was the last one to turn to stone, so she was the first one back.
No,
don't know.
Namari was
No,
the last
Namari
one.
was the last
So she
one.
came back before Namari.
Yeah.
Yeah, Raya.
Oh,
I think.
okay. Maybe because she was
Yeah.
Disney princess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Got that princess
Yeah.
favorability.
Katrina was saying, I was thinking it was because of the necklace that Namari gave Raya when they were little girls, and Sisu was kind of like Namari's spirit animal.
Right. That's a good way of looking at it.
I kind of see that, but I definitely see it more of like the redemption of like I screwed things up, so I'm the one who fixes things.
Yeah.
So for all of you guys, this is in your top 10 Disney movies.
Top 10 Disney, top 10 animated.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
asking Disney.
No, top 10 Disney, yes.
Yeah.
Is it really? Okay.
Yes.
I'd have to think
you
about
too?
that. If we included Pixar, maybe not.
No.
No, just Disney. Just
I think so, but it is. I got the recently watched hype right now, and I haven't seen the others, and I haven't seen Moana, Frozen, and any of the other like Lion King and any of that in a long time. And there's a lot of Disney movies, so it's hard for me
So
to.
for you, it is Alex.
yeah. I would have to say top 10.
Not for me.
And here's the thing. Is that
Doesn't surprise me.
Well, you have so many good Disney classics. How can you? No, I don't know.
It's the music, isn't it? It's the music.
you're asking. Yeah, the music automatic out of the top 10, out of the top 20. Did you even make the top 50?
Probably top 50, not top 20 or
Oh
10. I will tell you that. It's just my opinion, guys.
That's fine.
So, like, okay, you asked us why if it should be top 10. Tell us why you think it's not top 10 for you.
I just said, there is just so many other Disney classics that I would put before this movie. Is the animation worse? It's a lot of it worse because they're older? Yeah, but when it comes to let's watch a Disney movie, I'm not gonna be like, oh, let's watch Raya. I'm gonna go for many, many, many other movies that I love and they have my heart. So that's why I'm saying for me, it's not in my top 10 personally. Uh, I can give you a bunch of movies that I like more than Raya. I still liked it. I would watch it again. I actually want to watch it with our daughter whenever it becomes available because she will not sit at the movies yet to watch an entire movie.
Yeah. Of course.
So the moment we can watch it here at home, maybe watching it a second time would make me appreciate it more. Not that I didn't appreciate it, but maybe I will like it a little more.
Yeah.
But that's just how I feel.
I think, and that's what happened with me. I didn't mention this. So I didn't when I went to go see it. For those who are watching, when I went to go see it with Lucas and with everyone, and it's here in the stream, I missed like a good first half of the movie. So I actually bought the $30 stream. So for anyone that was
Yeah.
kind of curious, like
I
how is
figured you
that
would.
like? Yeah, I mean that was my only way. I mean, unless I
Mhm.
went back to the movie theaters, but in where I'm at, the movie theaters in my city are closed. So I have to go like a 40 minutes to the next one. And if you think about gas and the ticket price, it was the same thing as paying the $30. So
What did you think of the IMAX? That our IMAX.
the if we're talking about the IMAX, it was
Mhm.
we lost Carla. So I thought it was when we were talking about how beautifully the animation was, you can really see it on an IMAX screen. So comparing that to like watching it on my television set, even though I have a 4K TV, it was still. I mean, it still
Oh
looked
yeah.
great. It still looked
I
great,
really
but
want to see it in HDR so bad
yeah,
because all the colors.
yeah. I mean, it looked great, but I mean, there's something with. I mean, no TV is gonna beat an IMAX screen. Like it's just they have to use a different kind of camera to film. I mean, given it's animated, but different kind of technology to do IMAX stuff so that it can be portrayed beautifully on an IMAX screen.
Hey guys, look who joined us.
Right.
I can
That's
hear them.
Yeah. So, all right, guys. So
Well,
I
there's
think
5 of
Carla's
us.
out for the night.
Yeah,
Unfortunately.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
that's okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I
No,
gotta
you're
Yeah.
good.
take care of the little
You
one.
already
Parent
let
life.
us know that it's not in the top
Say bye,
10.
Mama.
So
Yeah.
But yeah, to everyone watching, definitely. Sorry. There you go. To everyone watching, really quick before I leave, definitely watch Raya. And again, I wasn't hating on it at all. I give you my honest opinion with things.
Yeah.
But yeah, go watch it, and I think it's a good movie.
It is. It was a really great movie.
So yeah, and I think kids are gonna like it too because it was fun. So anyways, I'm out. You guys have fun. Say bye, baby.
Bye, Carla.
All right, honey. Bye.
All right.
Bye.
So for those who are watching, let me know in the comments, like where would you rank Raya? Like, would you see her? I mean, you don't have to give a specific number, but do you see her in your top 10? And like the fact that we all agreed that it would probably be in our top 10, given Justin needs to watch a couple more Disney movies,
Just a refresh. Yeah.
just a refresh. Yeah, I don't know. She's starting to creep up. Like could possibly touch top 5. I don't know.
Yeah, I actually agree with Katrina here. The
Yeah.
Disney classics are in their own category to like classify them in because like
A Disney movie is a Disney movie.
Yeah,
you're out of the stream.
I do agree with Carla, and I half agree with Katrina because, like, okay, when someone comes up to you and they ask you, "What are your?" Let's say they say your top 10 Disney movies, you're not gonna be like, "Well, my top 10 classical Disney movies is this, and my top 10 top 10 Disney movies go," and it's like
I definitely tell people when I talk about Disney, I say classic and I say Renaissance movies.
Well, do you?
I definitely have to
we mentioned-
classify.
But if I asked you, give me your top 10, I'm just saying all of Disney, everything of Disney. Give me your top 5.
Animated and live action?
Oh my gosh. let's just say animated. They're animated.
Okay,
We're not talking about live
if we're doing live action, then no, it's not in my top 10.
I don't even think what live action movie would you consider? I mean,
Pirates of the Caribbean, Tron, Legacy.
Okay, that's where that's when you can. You know what? No, I guess you could just say all of Disney then. But here's the thing.
Okay.
But right now for knowing it's an animated movie, what did Katrina saying? Raya kicked Frozen 1 and 2 off my list. Oh, interesting.
Oh man,
Carla's going to hate me now.
She is.
Yeah.
So if we just stay in just animated movies, no live action, because I guess that could be a whole different. If I said top 5, like someone asked me, "What's your top 5 favorite Disney animated movies. Number one's going to be Aladdin. Number two is going to be Hercules. Number three is going to be 101 Dalmatians, the old one. I think four would be Tangled, and five. See, so I'm saying like I can list like you see. There's a mixture. Oh, Pinocchio is number five.
Yeah.
So I can mix.
Oh,
I can mix like
I like that one.
you know. I'm not sitting there going like, oh, this has got to be in the classic category. Like that's my top five. And like I said, Raya's 10, and she could be close to being she could be number 6 or 7 if I sat there and thought about what my top the bottom 5.
Raya's at 10 for me. She broke into 10.
Okay.
She's definitely 10.
If she's in my top 10, she'd be in like higher tier, not lower tier. Like she's not closer to 1. She'd be like 10 or 9.
Yeah,
You know,
she's
I'm
definitely
not
at
she.
9 because she's still
She.
fresh. She's still
We're referring
fresh.
to the movie as she. I love it.
Um,
But yeah, go ahead.
No, I was
Sorry.
gonna say because Carla brought up maybe if she watched the movie a second time, maybe will be a little indifferent about it. And the fact that I watched the movie a second time, given the first time I didn't watch it from the beginning, but watching
Right.
it the second time, I don't know. That's why I said that it was starting to it got in my top 10 already the first time, and then it's starting to creep up closer to top 5 because I don't know. There was just certain things either I missed or I just appreciated more, and I'm just like rewatching what I just watched of the storytelling and the character development. I'm just like, man, you guys did a good job, Disney, with this movie. I mean, to the point, I don't know if I have it. I mean, to the point that yesterday when I was at the theme parks, for anyone that's watching, I literally when I was at Animal Kingdom, I was in the mood to buy Raya merchandise. Like the fact that I'm already into like I want to buy Raya everything. That's what I'm saying. I think she's creeping up. Like I got a Raya. I don't know if you guys can see it. I got a Raya pin.
That's
I mean,
awesome
nice.
looking.
Yeah. Let me see if I can blow myself up. I don't know if you guys.
Blow
Yeah.
yourself up.
Anyways, yeah. So I'm at the point now where I want Raya merchandise, and I'm just starting to become in love with Raya as a character, as a Disney princess or whatever she's going to be considered. It's just I don't know. She's just I don't know. There was just something about her that I just loved the energy, the just her tone, just her.
She felt
vibe.
very real
Yeah,
real.
real, exactly.
as a character. Like she didn't feel like a I'm sorry to cut you off, but
No,
she
go
didn't feel like yeah. She felt whenever she would deliver dialogue, she felt like someone you would be talking to in real life. She didn't feel like when you look at Tangled or you know,
I know what
we
you're
were
saying.
even talking about Atlantis and Treasure Planet, which both of those I think are better movies. As
Those are in my top 10.
they-
Those are in my
they-
top. Yeah.
they as a child you have you're more vulnerable emotionally and you're able to attach yourself to these movies a little bit harder, at least in my opinion. So I think that no matter how bad or good those movies are, they'll have that place above this. But the dialogue in those movies, and even Lilo and Stitch, it's almost like sitcom-esque dialogue where it's like made to be a little bit funnier and just like in your face, whereas this Raya Kelly Marie Tran played Raya very reserved and relatable. Maybe not in her what she was dealing with, but the way she would react to things. She just felt like a normal person.
You know, it's funny when you just said sitcom, like you dropped Lilo and Stitch. I thought of the scene where she's like, "Go to your room. I am in my room,"
Yeah.
and they just scream into the pillows. That looks like it'd be on television, like on an American
studio
sitcom.
laughter. Insert studio laughter.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Still good. Not
No, yeah,
great.
but I can see where that that thought process came from.
Mhm. That would be more Aquafina for this movie. Would be the sitcom delivery. That
She was the comedic relief.
Yeah,
I mean, the other side characters
There was
were
a
as well,
lot.
but she was the comedic relief.
and she was kind of like the heart,
Yeah.
the heart, the stabilizing element.
That's definitely why I said Mushu 2.0 in the beginning. Like
Exactly,
she was exactly the same concept.
different characters fulfilled the same role.
Atlantis is by far, I think Atlantis is in my top 5. Atlantis is definitely in my top 5 for sure.
Like when you hear the jokes in those movies, they feel like someone wrote them down first, and then
I'm
They
sure you're going to have a
deliver.
Raya bag soon, Katrina.
Yeah.
Sorry, Justin.
No. Comments.
You feel like the yeah.
Like the jokes in Atlantis and stuff, they feel like they were written down and then delivered, whereas Raya, everything kind of just
It flowed
feels,
very.
yeah.
Although
And
the
that
stuff
just
with
might be from the
Aquafina, though.
evolution.
But the,
Yeah, well,
the,
that's
the
what I'm saying.
Aquafina stuff.
Her in
That's more.
particular, yeah.
Yeah, it was a little off, but I mean, it was still
It's good. It's not
it was
bad.
good.
There's nothing bad about it.
No,
It's
no.
different.
Yeah. I'm just what Lucas was saying about Katrina, that she's already bought merchandise. She's she's big on Loungefly collection, and she wants a Raya bag. And I mean, like, for you guys who are watching, can
I'm
you
sure it's
imagine?
coming.
Can you imagine a Raya bag when they do release one? I don't know if there is one out right now. It would look. They're gonna.
You're
It's
probably
gonna
going
be
to get a
one
Tuk
bag.
one first.
Yeah, right.
I'm not gonna lie, like he'd be the best one. Or like, so you know
Yeah,
how there's
Tuk-Tuk.
there's the new lounge flies that have the three cats from Aristocats, the kittens, Marie and the other two. Like they had the three heads on top of each other. You're gonna get the three monkey heads.
Yeah, that would.
Yeah.
I mean, if the Raya bags are so good, I might buy one. No, I'm just kidding. But no,
God,
but yeah,
Dylan.
like I literally was at Animal Kingdom, and now when I go to the parks, I'm gonna be looking for Raya merchandise. I mean, I want the shirts, I want everything, because like I'm starting to.
Definitely gonna look at Hot Topic myself because Hot
Yeah.
Topic has a lot of good options for Disney merch. Believe it or
Yeah.
not.
I mean, I didn't, when I went to go find, when I had to go ask a cast member, I was like, "Hey, do you have any Raya stuff?" And she's like, "Oh, we have some pins," and I was like, "Oh," and you know what's interesting? The rack that they had the pins on, there was like at least 2 rows, and the bottom row was empty, and the second row only had like maybe 6 or 7 left. So people are buying these pins, and the merchandise. So I mean, it got, what did you say, 96% Rotten Tomatoes?
Dude, me and you on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
I was literally about to say, if you want to think about something good, Rotten Tomatoes said it was like 95% on. So, and that was the critics.
If you don't take our word for it, look at those. Anyway, yeah, you know.
Literally, so that site, generally the audience score is better than the critic score, but this time it was reversed. The critic score is higher than the audience score. The audience score is sitting at like an 80 something right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
And I liked your Atlantis reference.
Yeah,
down there. The bag that is out is a Tuk-Tuk. What? I need to Google this. This movie is so merchandisable, it's ridiculous. Like it's like a marketing guy's dream. Just like, oh, we're gonna make dragon stuffed animals, we're gonna make Tuk-Tuk stuffed animals.
At World of Disney, they already have like one of the whole stanzas dedicated to Raya merch. So in Disney Springs.
They gotta make out that money. When I looked it up, it was only at like 30 million of its $100 budget over the weekend, and it's already been out for over a week. So
this is the one box.
It's struggling.
That's adorable.
Oh,
she got the Raya pins from Hot Topic, which I saw when she posted it. Oh yeah, see. So yeah, this is it for you guys who are
interested in Raya merch.
Yeah, Raya merch. Yeah. It is in box lunch for $69, and this is Tuk-Tuk.
God, he's adorable. I want one. I want him big. I don't want a car anymore. I just want a rolling armadillo.
I mean, look at what do they call Ongies? Ongies. Yeah, there's this one sleeping over here. They're all sleeping except for this one. I don't know why he's upset. Maybe he can't get comfortable, but it's funny. Tuk-Tuk is looking at that one. He's probably like, "You're gonna go to bed, or am I gonna make you go to bed?" So I gotta know.
Yeah.
But yeah. So top 10. I think we all can agree it's a good movie.
Right.
It's overall good. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. If you have watched it, watch it, over and over again, because I watched it twice and it was great. But yeah, we all liked it. Carla had her opinions about it, but overall she didn't say it was bad. So yeah. If you have kids, their kids are gonna love it. As an adult, you're gonna love it. We're all already buying the merchandise, and so you definitely need to go watch this movie. Great Rotten Tomatoes score, great Disney movie. It does not have singing, but I mean, it's a good movie. And on that note, I just want to say I appreciate all you guys who were watching.
Guys, thank you so much.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys. And if you haven't yet, hit that thumbs up button on the stream. It will really help out, especially when the stream ends. And thank you guys for all your input and comments. And
thanks for having me, and thanks for watching it together in the IMAX theater. I hope we can do that more often.
Welcome. Yeah.
Oh, we actually do though. So we're gonna have one of our upcoming streams will definitely be about the Kong discussion.
Oh yeah.
So we do have that coming up.
Yeah, you're right. So for those who are still watching, we are going to do a movie review in a couple weeks on Kong versus Godzilla. So if anyone cares about that movie, we will be talking about it. It's going to be an epic movie, and I'm pretty sure we're going to have a lot to talk about it. I feel like that movie's going to be so good, I'm going to watch it a second time in the movie theaters. And also next weekend, and this is going to be our next stream for next weekend. I don't know if we're going to do it next Saturday or next Sunday, but we're going to be talking about the Justice League Snyder Cut. Justin will be a part of it. And so we'll have a discussion, and Carlo will be there. So we'll all be here again for the next week. And I don't know if it's going to be Saturday or Sunday.
Probably Sunday because of Justin.
Sunday? Okay. Yeah. So then it was pretty Sunday.
I think we need to keep to the Sunday schedule for weekly streams, unless something amazing happens, like a trailer drops.
Okay.
Then
because here's the thing, we're gonna watch it Thursday, so I just I know that build up and that hype is gonna be there. So if you can stay, I know it's gonna get to me, but you, Lucas, I think you're a little more impatient. You're gonna be like,
I'm not impatient. I'm antsy. There's a difference.
Yeah. Which leads.
Alex knows you well enough already, huh?
Yeah. We will. That will definitely be the next stream. We'll be talking about the Zack Snyder cut. Will be released on HBO Max. So I hope you guys can tune in for that if you do care for it, or if you just want to support us and support the channels. You could just sit there and watch while we talk about it.
Exactly.
And get our nerd talk on. And like I said, the week after will be Kong versus Godzilla. So if you're planning to go watch the movie, join the live streaming discussion. We will be talking about it again. Raya was great. Loved the movie. I'm starting to fall in love with Raya. Thank you guys, and I appreciate all you guys, and thank you, Justin, for coming along. It was fun to have you on the stream.
Thanks for having me. Yep.
And any other last words for you, Lucas? No.
Oh man, watch Raya.
Yeah, watch Raya, you guys. And
Definitely.
on that note,
check it out.
Yeah, on that note, always be yourself. Unless you can be Batman, then always be Batman. See ya.
Deuces.